Welcome back. In South Africa, culture and religion are the traditional weapons used by the wider population to condemn homosexuals. In Zimbabwe, it is the police and politicians who are accused of harassment and intimidation. Gay rights groups there say around election time, attacks against them intensify.
The one organization that works on gay and lesbian people's rights, called GALS, has been raided a number of times by the police, and some of the work employees there have been arrested. The police even wrote down a list of those who they perceive to be gay people working at this organization with their addresses, and this drove quite a few of them underground. This happened last year. So they're periodically targeted by the police. We've had politicians especially saying that this is not our culture. This is anti-African. Homosexuality is a Western concept, and then bringing in together with religion.
We are saying no to homosexuality, and we are calling upon your support. You cannot say no. Homosexuality is not a human right.
At least 38 countries on the continent have laws against gay, bisexual, and lesbian rights. And we have seen an increase in attacks on homosexuality in a number of countries. There are new laws that are being passed or attempting to be passed in Uganda, Nigeria, Liberia, which talk about laws against the promotion of homosexuality. So if anyone even is seen to harbor someone who's perceived to be gay, they can be brought before the court and charged. So these laws are at various stages in Uganda, Nigeria, Liberia, but we're very concerned by this because it's going to make the environment for gay people on the continent even worse than it already is. Government of South Africa has been very good when it comes to promoting the issue of gay rights internationally. South Africa and Brazil have together combined to promote a bill at the Human Rights Council that looks at a treaty that looks at respecting lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered people. So South Africa has been very positive on the international scale and has been a huge supporter of gay rights on the international scale. Unfortunately, they have not implemented what is written in the Constitution on the ground. And the South African government needs to do more in terms of going out and doing these public campaigns about what it means to be gay and what it means to be tolerant of people of a different sexuality. There hasn't been enough of that when it comes to gay issues, and I think it's because they're not seen as a priority. Because of the cultural context in which they're seen as an African, people don't want to discuss it. And the government also is reluctant to go out and start talking to people about that because they fear that people will shut them down and say, well, we don't want you coming to talk about these things. Yeah. But what it does is it simply drives gay people underground, but also it puts them at great risk, not just of physical violence, but they themselves put each other at risk because they engage in risky sexual behavior because it's all underground. They're scared to go and ask for condoms. When they have STDs, they're scared to go to the doctors because the doctor will find out they're gay and then they may be discriminated against. So when it's not discussed, it just makes the whole issue really, really risky for all those who are homosexual or lesbian. One of the things that we've discovered, and statistically, we find that there's a high rate of suicide, but this is a global statistic amongst gay children because they don't know, they feel that maybe what they're doing is wrong, that there's something wrong with them, that they're monsters or something, and so they feel so bad and they kill themselves. And in societies where they can't talk about it, it makes it even worse. So this is why there needs to be a lot of sensitization amongst local communities to say, there's nothing wrong with this. So a 12-year-old boy who feels that he's gay will feel confident enough to go maybe talk about it with his mother, with his father, with an uncle, or with a teacher to say, I'm having these feelings. And they will tell him, no, there's nothing wrong. You are also human and there's nothing wrong with you. Across the continent, we have 2 researchers who are doing considerable work in places like Cameroon, where 28 people in the past 3 years or so have been arrested for various reasons that are connected to being gay or to being homosexual. So we've been doing a lot of work there. We've also been working in Senegal, where 3 people, I think, have been arrested in the past year or so for being gay. So across the continent, these laws that are on the statute books, which are actually former colonial laws, they were brought there to stop homosexuality. Those laws do not make sense anymore. They need to be repealed. And therefore, the status of gay people needs to be legal, like it is here in South Africa.
New that moves. enca.com.